Where do they get the food to feed so many people?
Right, and all the stuff they need to make things in the factories.
Natural resources, of course. Let's travel outside the megalopolis and find out.
Away from the cities, much of the land is used for farming. Few crops and livestock can survive in the poor rocky soil of the New England states. Still, Massachusetts is a leading grower of cranberries. Maine is famous for potatoes. People in New England take the sap from sugar maple trees and boil it down to make their world-famous maple syrup. Blueberries, apples, corn, and oats are other successful New England crops. In the mid-Atlantic states, a larger variety of produce grows well. Fruits and vegetables grow well in the coastal plain's rich sandy soil. Inland from the coastal plain is a region called the Piedmont. The rich, fertile soil here produces fine crops of apples. The land in southeastern Pennsylvania is some of the richest in the world. Even the smaller farms in this area can produce a large amount of corn or wheat. Pasture grasses grow easily in this climate, so many farmers raise dairy cattle. These dairy cattle produce milk, butter, and cheese. Pennsylvania alone produces over 1 billion gallons of milk per year. The dairy industry is one of the largest businesses in the northeastern states. The rocky soil of the New England states may make farming a challenge, but some people make a living from the rocks themselves. New Hampshire and Vermont have a lot of marble and granite. These rocks are mined in quarries. A quarry is a large open pit cut into the ground to mine stone. New Hampshire and Vermont have another important industry, logging. Logging is even more important in Maine. Almost 90% of Maine's land is covered by forest. When the Industrial Revolution came to the Northeast region, power-driven tools replaced hand tools, and more could be done with all of these natural resources. By the late 1700s, people were building small factories to make cloth from cotton. These were called mills. Mills used the power of running water to operate machines. During the 1800s, these mills grew larger and employed more people. One of the first large mills was located in Lowell, Massachusetts. With the onset of the Industrial Revolution, more cities and new industries were springing up all across the country. The steel industry began in western Pennsylvania. This area has 3 resources that are needed to make steel: iron, coal, and limestone. Bringing these resources together was easier with 3 major waterways close by in Pittsburgh. Steel became an important resource not only to the Northeast, but to all the United States. It was used for building railroad tracks, bridges, buildings, and many machines. Today, the power sources used and the products manufactured in the Northeast have changed. Now, only a handful of factories use rivers for power, and competition from lower-cost manufacturers outside the United States has closed many U.S. steel mills. Still, with new sources of power and new industries, the Northeast remains a center for manufacturing.
It's really kind of amazing that the people of the northeastern region were able to use just about every resource around them.
Yeah, even rocks. Don't forget that all these resources help those cities and towns grow.
Yeah, don't forget rocks.